How's it going, guys? I'm having a bad deal on vlogging today. I don't know what happens when I'm uploading, because I upload a lot of vlogs. YouTube's been kind to me. They've been letting me do it. I'm just a vlogging fool. This is what I do. And this gives people an idea of my life as an older man. Now, I'm going to talk about emotional abuse. And what I want to say to those people doing it, you're bullies. You're bullies. That's all you're doing. And I'll get into bullies along with this. A child's brain is not developed. The child hasn't had experiences to being older as an adult. So their brains are they want love. They want compassion. They want to be taken care of. They want to be nurtured. But instead, let me tell you my story. My dad was born in Rutland, Vermont, or Burlington. I think he's born in Burlington and they moved to Rutland. His dad was a male secretary. Now, a male secretary then was a big thing. It's not like little female secretaries working for a corporation. Not even close. And he was making really good money. They had a nice house. I saw the house in pictures. My dad's, let me think here. Something went on. I keep thinking Edith keeps popping up in my head. I've got all this written down, but the fact remains you're not going to remember the names of the people. His wife, his dad's wife, had major issues. Major issues, and I read it. She's clinically depressed. Clinically depressed. I went to school, guys. I know how to diagnose. Yeah. She was in bad shape. She'd lay in the bed all the time, wouldn't even get out of the bed. Just lay in the bed. But my dad really, at that juncture of time, everything was wonderful in his life. Wonderful in his life. The pendulum change for him was when his dad bought a horse, a brand new horse, tied it to a carriage, went down the street. The horse went out of control and started running. The cart flipped. He hit his head and died. Just like that. Dead. His mother needed support. Women back then, they had to marry somebody quick. So she married a Methodist preacher. Okay? So, I mean, the fun thing about it is, and I love this. This story is fantastic. It really is. His mother married a Methodist preacher. And this Methodist preacher was doing well. And he was well thought of in the community. He basically stood on a pedestal. Woo! Now, this is wicked, guys. The children could not eat at the adult dining table. Period. You're only and you're not even to approach an adult. Child couldn't even approach an adult at all, unless called on. And what was the other weird stuff that it was? Oh, you do not speak until you're told to. So they had to be quiet. That's some wicked stuff. And my dad was like absorbing this. That's some wicked stuff. That Methodist preacher had some major issues with children. But when my dad, I don't know if it was my dad or his sister told me this. I don't know. That was normal. That was the way it was up north. And I'm like, huh? No, I can't believe that. Anyway, my dad basically got into went to the army at World War I, fought in the army of World War I. And then he got into sales. That's all he did. He was a salesperson. And back then, there were a lot of guys in sales. Because, I mean, that's how companies grow. They have to send their salespeople out in the field. So my dad got married, fell madly in love with this girl. And I must admit, she was an attractive lady. I saw a picture of her. She was cute. He was madly in love with her. She gets a terminal disease and dies. Dead as a doornail. So my dad's sitting there thinking, I don't know, to this day, I don't know what happened between him and his wife's family. That's what I want to know. And when I was asking his sister this, she got pissed off. No, it wasn't Esther. Who was I talking to? His niece, I guess. I think so. That's what I was told. So my dad didn't go to the funeral at all. He up and left, come to Charlotte, North Carolina, to go into sales for a radio station. But let me tell you how this works, guys. Throughout the United States in broadcasting, you can be in Vermont at a station as a salesperson and say, I'm gonna need to be moving to Charlotte, and they can send you to their station in Charlotte. I mean, that's how it works. Man, there's big broadcasting radio networks, huge networks. I know, I've been in radio too. So what happened was my dad starts selling for a radio station. He meets my mother. And my mother was a pretty cute woman. You know, she was. She was a cute woman. I wouldn't put her on the scale of being the most beautiful, but just freaking cute looking. You know, you kind of look at her and go, hello, how are you? And that's what my dad did. My dad put his charm on her. She fell in love with him. And they really had some good sex. They did. And she got pregnant because the idiot didn't wear a condom. Stupidity. Got her pregnant. Out of marriage. So my dad has to marry my mom. And let me tell you how this starts. Once my dad got married to her, oh my God, my mother's a Southern woman. She's a dom. She was raised to be a dom. My dad was a dom, a masculine man, and they fought. Bang, bang. Constantly fought. Constantly fought. There were so many fights in the room, in the house. It got so bad. I remember I tried to go in my bedroom and hide. I did that a lot. I crouched down and hid a lot as a boy in my bedroom out of fear. I hope I don't get too emotional, but it was really just a bad scenario. Now, we'll say that one Christmas they had a fight. My dad went into the living room, got the Christmas tree, and threw it down. And I mean, my sister and I had to jump out of the way. Threw it down on the floor. I mean, the bulbs breaking. Now, to tell you a little bit about my dad, guess what happens? My mother talks my dad into, let's have a little boy. Can we have a little boy? How this happened, I still don't know. How the hell did my mother know she was going to have a boy? I still want to know. How? I don't care about that. That's the only thing about having a Wi-Fi. This phone has Wi-Fi. My dad had a son he didn't want. He didn't want me. I know that for a fact. He hated me, despised me. You know, and I was the unwanted child. What's bizarre is he gets my mother pregnant before they get married. But he's looking at me as the unwanted child. So my dad gets it in his mind. Now let me explain something about bullies, guys. It is the fact that that person's trying to take control of you and make you less than a person. You know, bully goes much further than just fist. They do emotional, deep emotional hurt. I mean, deep emotional hurt. You're no good. You're never going to amount to anything. You might as not even try. You're a loser. You can't do it. As hard as you try, you can't do it. Whatever you do in life, you're going to fail at. I could keep going, guys. I heard this as a kid, a little boy. I heard this. A little boy. My mind was not developed into an adult. I didn't have those experiences yet. And this stuff sunk deep inside of me. And I really began to feel less than a person as a boy. And really got to the point of suicidal thoughts as a boy, of killing myself. The strange thing about this is that my dad and I, it was kind of weird. What my dad didn't understand is boys grow. We grow up. And as I said, when I got into middle school, I was a stout dude. I was, because I hadn't got that height yet. So I was like, I got pictures of me. I had my arms, pretty good size arms. Till I, went this way and everything went like that. So anyway, my dad did some wild stuff. He picked me up, slammed me into the wall. He has pushed me down on the floor. He'll just get his hand and go throw me down on the floor. The whole thing is that we got into an argument one day. And I looked at my dad and I said, I really don't care. My dad said, what do you mean? I said, I can kick your ass. That's exactly what I told my father. I can kick your ass. And my father looked at me. That was it. You know, he never did much more to me after that. Period. But the damage had already been done. Now, I was a crazy little boy. I admit it. I was a crazy little boy. And I did some wild stuff. You know, and to be honest with you, I sat down here. I don't know if somebody's at my door. I sat down here and I began to think, let's feel life. So I drank Boone's Farm wine at a very early age. I probably was 12, drinking Boone's Farm wine. About that time too, I was smoking marijuana. I was getting high. Yeah, guys. And Tina, I'm not going to say anything about her right now. But anyway, to make this long story short, because something's going on with YouTube, I'm going to try this again. Emotional abuse, when you get to the point that the bully has beat you down, the bully has beat you down to less than nothing. You are nothing at all, period. You're just invisible. Now, I'm going to go into this light too. This is for females that are going through it. You look at yourself in the mirror, you're just seeing an average looking girl. You're not that pretty. That's emotional, guys. And that's deep. A girl's looking at her self-image and wondering this. Let me tell you this. Weight. You put on a little bit of weight there. You know, girls with weight aren't as attractive as girls that are thinner. They can really be attractive and get more out of life. And you're like going eating disorder time, bulimia, anorexia. Girls go through some wicked stuff too. And it's all by bully parents. Beating them down to make them feel like they're nothing. You're useless. Why are you even living? And females take this emotional side of this into their lives. And if they don't get help, they'll never trust any guy. They'll never trust anybody because they've been hurt so deep. But there is help. If you're very young, go to your school counselor and talk to your school counselor and tell them what's going on. Emotional abuse is not okay. The guy, he didn't get hit. The boy's fine, his face and his body. He never got hurt physically. Hell no, he got emotionally. Emotionally is much deeper. It goes to the root of who you are. So I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog, but I'm going to get passionate about this because, to be honest with you, I've never had a really successful relationship with a woman. And the reason why I didn't is because they never saw me as a success in life. That's it right there. And I've said that about females before. A female, I don't care how old you are, you're looking for a guy that is successful, that is a winner in life. That wasn't me. So all my relationships fell to the wayside. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog. Happy Sunday. It's 10:15 here in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Peace, guys.